The next speaker I'd like to introduce is Ecuyer. Danny is from the Wentworth-based Women for Change Alliance. She contacted us, that is the Wilderness Society, back in March because she was so concerned about the pulp mill and wondered how she could help. She's been assisting in making the issue a big one on Malcolm Turnbull's home turf there in Wentworth. She's an ex-investment banker. She's also putting pressure on the financial system which threatens to back this pulp mill. So she's come down today from Sydney just to speak to us, and it's just fantastic to see that we're getting that kind of support on the mainland. Please give a really, really warm welcome to Danny.
Thank you, Jeff, and thank you everyone for welcoming me to Tasmania. My name is Danielle Ecuyer, as Jeff said. I'm an ex-investment banker. I have been a passionate advocate of looking after the environment for about a year now. Not very long, I know. I'm a newcomer to all of this, but I come with a lot of passion and a lot of spirit. And I also come with a different I suppose, tone on the whole thing. I was an investment banker, and as an investment banker, we were trained to look at the most expert opinions out there. And we always got the best research, the best opinions, before we could actually go out and do our job. So when I started working on climate change and now the pulp mill, I have done exactly that. I've sought out the expert opinions from the scientists. And what I am so horrified by is the greenwashing that's going on by the politicians. They use spin, they use rhetoric, they use jargon to confuse the people about what is actually happening. Basically, it's actually just using the English language to confuse people. So what I try and do through my organisation and in the electorate of Wentworth, and actually in Mossman as well, is actually to try and bring the truth to the people about climate change, about sustainability, and why I was so engaged about what was happening in Tasmania. Here we have an amazing example of what shouldn't be happening. We should not be deforesting. I find it absolutely amazing. I find it amazing that we're in the 21st century now, and we are trying to go to a carbonless society so that people like my son who's sitting over there can have a future. And yet we have an environment minister that says, well, you can stop deforesting in Malaysia and Indonesia, but what's he letting happen in our own country? Suffice to say, I'm not very popular at the moment with the Liberal Party, and I used to be a Liberal voter. So what I'm doing at the moment is we're actually running a campaign in coordination with TAP, Tasmanians Against the Pulp Mill, and we want 20,000 signatures asking ANZ not to fund the pulp mill. So we're running this in conjunction with the Wilderness Society, and we think it's very important that we have a grassroots organisation working alongside the NGOs, and so I'd all like you to either go to the TAP website, to the WFCA website, or Tasmanian Times, and please, we need 20,000 signatures to send our message to ANZ and other financial institutions that it is no longer acceptable for you to claim to be socially responsible institutions when in fact you are actually lending to heavily polluting and climate change creating companies. This is great.
You go, girl.
I'm here till next Friday with my son. We are actually going to make a film. I'm not a filmmaker, but I want to send the message back to Wentworth. I'm going to take photos, I'm going to speak to all the locals, or as many as possible, and we're actually doing a forestry tour on Thursday. So I want to go and see these forests and actually go back and say, they're looking pretty native to me and pretty much like forests, not like plantations. So all so much for having me, for welcoming me so kindly. Suffice to say, in the next couple of months I want to keep this at the top of the agenda in Wentworth. And one last word, the people of Wentworth do care. They care very much. I have been told by many, many people in very, very well-to-do places, quote unquote, that they are absolutely horrified and appalled by what is going on in Tasmania. So if that gives you the hope and the impetus to keep fighting this, just know that people around Australia and in Mr. Turnbull's electorate really care and are very on side. So good luck.
Yeah, well, thank you, Danielle. Thanks for coming all the way down and giving us the benefit of your commitment here today.